Hello folks, and welcome to another short video. In this clip I've turned my hand to a bit of DIY. Possibly not my strongest hobby, but I'll give most things a go in fairness. I have a brick shed in my garden, the problem being that there's not one single right angle in it. It was built before I moved in and it's not been built in a linear way. This has prevented me putting any standard shelves up in there before, and as a result the shed has become a bit of a hodgepodge, a bit of a mess. So this is my attempt to create a bespoke and hopefully solid work surface in there to claw back some room as I work towards another project which hopefully be featured on the channel a bit later in the month now.
So this is the area that I'm working on. There's the old shelf, there is the area above the washing machines. Now what I need to do is I need to cut this piece of timber into length and create across the back and up this side piece here, and then I need to do something in this area as well, and then I need to put the surface, which is going to be the door bunk on top, to sit down, and that's my first job. And the second job is to take this wonky shelf which is bowing down. All of those materials will be going elsewhere, and I've bought new shelving that's going to go from the edge of where that line is right the way across to the edge of the thing, and I've even got a shelf made out of solid pine this time with 4 brackets, so it should be a lot stronger and it should last longer as well, so be a lot safer. In fact, I might just cut out a groove and have it running right along the length to the edge there, so we'll be able to get more stuff on there. That's the first bit. And in that corner there's a bit of a mess here. We're going to have guinea pigs on here eventually, so all of that's going to go bye-bye. I've got another shelf to go across there, and I'm going to clean that up, and I'm going to paint the surface of these units then the same as I paint the surface of there, so it's all matching. So that's my job. Okay, so this is the frame that I've built to take the shelf. What I've done is I've secured that one onto the wall across there and there, and I've got bracing points there and there, and then I've got a leg then here which literally just goes down onto the ground. It's not secured on the ground, designed to take all the weight in the vertical. This shelf isn't designed to take a lot of weight, it'll just be taking items from the 2 washing machines then up onto the top. So after much potching, this is the solution I've come up with. Due to the non-linear shape of this area, I didn't trust my measurements across here and in that direction to cut exactly out this non-linear shape. So what I've done instead is I've quick chipped 2 liddles earlier, got a load of cardboard boxes, and I've cut out a cardboard template for the shape, which I'm going to transfer in a second onto this door, mark it up, take the template off, and trust that my cutting and measuring has been right, and I'm going to cut that template out of this door, and hopefully at the end of it we will have the right shape for the unit there. It's a long shot. If I get it wrong it means I'm going to have to go buy another one of these doors and try again, but I'm confident I should get there or thereabouts. Now perhaps with the template on the door you can see what I'm dealing with here. There's actually only going to be one straight edge on this, which is that line across there, and the template I've done is a bit quiff, so that's not even straight, but that's not a straight edge, that's not a right angle, there's not a right angle there either. That is a straight edge, but it's a different angle to this one, and there's a different angle again there, so not one of these corners is 90 degrees. I thought that one was originally, but obviously I'm way off. So I'm drawing around this template now. I'm going to cut it out and well, see what happens. So there it is then. Just cut that out with an electric tool in the tipping down rain, so points here for being crazy. Time to see whether it fits. Well, it fits. All I've got left to do now is to cut out the holes there and there for the plug sockets to drop down and make them big enough so that you can actually drop a plug through there as well. Once I've done that, it's a case of getting the machines out and securing them up from the underneath onto the board, and then paint it, seal the edges, can paint it white, seal the edges, and it's done. Happy days. Okay, this is officially day 3 in the project, although in terms of work time it's only my second day really. I've only been putting like 2 or 3 hours of a day into it. Today's work then, cut the shape out last night and I've successfully made the correct shape to fit in this area. What I've got to do today is cut that notch out and the same there, so that the electric cables drop down behind when I push this in tight, and also enough space to drop a plug down through there as well. And then I've got to take the whole thing off the frame. And a while back I bought a load of these. I think they were only like 10-15 pence each. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those in a vise and bend them to 90 degrees, and then use these then to attach this to the frame so that the whole thing is solid and can't move. Right, fast forward 15 minutes and the cutouts are done. If you're wondering how to get a cutout like this with simple tools, I've literally used a normal saw just to cut down here, and then to get across this way, you know, if you've got electric power tools I can do that. If not, you can cheat. I just use a drill a load of holes right across all the way, and then pop it through, and you can just sand off the edges, and I haven't quite finished doing that yet. Interesting, the structure of the door. This is a fire door that I bought from Wickes to use for this shelf. It's quite solid, but the internal structure, they've drilled loads of little holes all the way through it. I don't know whether that's to keep the weight down maybe, and there's a bit more solid pieces there, but this stuff, I hope it never gets wet, put it that way. It doesn't look like it'll last very long if it's wet, but that's the structure of an internal of a Wickes fire door, if you're ever wondering. So this is the shelf in place then after the holes have been cut. I'm quite happy with the design. You can see where my cutting has gone slightly out in some places, but I'm going to be sealing that anyway after it's painted, so you won't notice that so much. These holes are designed so that if we have to drop a plug down underneath to swap out a unit, then it's big enough to take that. Right, here we go, 8 L brackets. Not all of them are perfect, but they're going to do the job nicely. So I'm going to put 2 there, a couple across here, a couple across here, a couple across there, obviously underneath, and then secure it in place. And I mean, I'm going to have to take these out now, which isn't great because there's not a lot of room in this little utility. Right, I'm actually under the unit now, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to screw a load of these in like that. Right, fast forward a couple of hours in the day. That is now on there and solid. The brackets underneath are on, under there, and they're all the way around. So there's 2 that side, 2 that side, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And I've taken the old shelf off and started on the new shelf. As you can see, using these cross brackets now to fit on there. And I've put 2 in already, but the old shelf started a bow in the middle, and I didn't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 brackets on this one. I'm going to put ones closer to the edge as well on both sides, just to make sure that it's well braced, because all the back stuff has got to go back up there and not fall off. I don't want the shelf breaking anytime soon, so I've got to finish this one off, and I've got to do that one over there. As you can see, that one's wonky, so all of that stuff's got to come out. Take the shelf down, do the same there, and this part of the project is done. Fast forward then another 24 hours and the job is done. I decided against painting in the end, thinking that, well, paint will probably chip. If I get any stains or anything on this, I can just give it a quick sand down, and the same with the shelf there. So that's the upper shelf, that's the main job. And over here I've replaced the shelf that was there with a nice long one as well, and this is going to feature as a different project shortly. And there we go, folks. All done. It took me 3 days in total. Cost about £130 all in. The cost of the door was the most expensive piece. That was a £60 door, but there was nothing else that I could find that was physically big and strong enough to go there, so that's what I went with in the end. Yeah, so there we have it. Hope you enjoyed this video, or if it was any of use to you, please leave a like and a comment, and if you could take the time to subscribe to my channel, it would be much appreciated as well. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.